Welcome all your dames and daddies. Today is April 5th, 2002. This week on KZAM, we're kicking it back to the roaring 20s, where flappers were big and bootleggers were popular. So let's give it to Paris now with sports.
This is 20s Week here on KZAM, and in sports, we will be talking about a hip-to-the-jive baseball player of that era. To start us off, I will be talking about the bee's knees of baseball, Babe Ruth. Not only did he hit 50-plus home runs, but this hard-boiled man led the Yankees to winning 6 American League pennants and 3 World Series. Another top 10 player of this era was Lou Gehrig. Lou played first base for the Yankees. Another up-and-comer is Jack Dempsey. Dempsey became boxing's first superhero. Some other great boxers are Benny Leonard, Harry Greb, and Jimmy Wild.
Going over the news throughout the decade, the red scares the nation. Communists might be local fellows who plot to overthrow the government. Palmeras have been invoked by the government to find any double-crossers and anarchists. Sacco and Vanzati, Italian immigrants, have been tried and sentenced to death by the electric chair, accused of murder. The Ku Klux Klan has risen again. They felt threatened by change and caused panic and chaos while bumping off immigrants and African Americans. Prohibition has been passed. No more hooch, jigger water, gin mill, or rum. What am I gonna do? Across the country, speakeasies have been created and a new system called bootlegging, making profits so people can still get bent.
And now, your farm report. For you farmers out there, I do not mean to bump off your mood, but the government have not kept their guarantees. Your prices for crops are allowed to drop back to normal. For most of you, you have to pay high Mazuma for farm machinery.
F. Scott Fitzgerald is nowhere near a sap. He wrote a book recently named The Great Gatsby. The story is based off the Jazz Age. Fitzgerald includes love and heartbreak, decisions and consequences in his writings. The love story of Daisy Buchanan and Jay Gatsby. The decision if she will stay with her husband, Tom, or leave him for Gatsby. What would happen if Tom were to find out about this affair? Read this well-written novel by Fitzgerald and tell us what you think of the novel.
And that a quick commercial from our proud sponsors. Hey there, cake eater. Are you feeling blue? Do you need something good in your life? If so, stop the baloney and take your baby doll for a nice cold drink. Coca-Cola. Drink happiness.
This week, the weather is hot. All throughout the week, the temperature is staying at 75 degrees. So get out there and don't take any wooden nickels. Now here's Megan with music.
Thanks to radios now, we're able to listen to so many different things. Anything from the news to fashion to music. Jazz is really popular right now. There are quite a few new artists out there. Marianne Harris is recognized for being the first white singer to sing jazz and the blues. Cliff Edwards, also known as Ukulele Ike, has a few hits himself, called California Here I Come, Hard-Hearted Hannah, and I'll See You in My Dreams, which we will be playing for you now.
Though the days are long, twilight sings a song of the happiness that used to be. Soon my eyes will close, then I'll find repose, and in dreams you're always near to me.
On to fashion news. For your hip to the jive jeans and daddies, there are some unreal stuff to wear and find tasty. For the dames, Coco Chanel made perfume that makes your cake eater wants to give you some nut and possibly a manacle. Also, for the dappers who loves their flappers, the bee's knees piece of clothing would be long pearl necklaces and the cloche hat.
Now on to crime. Al Capone is the most notorious criminal from Chicago. He had a ton of speakeasies selling hooch behind closed doors. These juice joints would serve panther sweat and maybe even moonshine. It is also rumored that he bumped off a few people. He's made a ton of scratch from these businesses and doesn't really care, but was put away for tax evasion. Weird, right? A lot of people think so.
Last week, Nora had murdered her first husband, Connor, and was preparing for the next part of her plan to steal his $4.2 million fortune. The cops arrive as she puts on her final touches of forcing out tears as the cops ran inside and tried to help poor Connor. Nora burst into more tears as the cops gave her the fateful news. A few of the neighbors had gathered among the lawn. When questioned by officers, she had mentioned that they were recently engaged and described everything that happened, even that she and Connor had just made love. She was sure to mention that. The officer had said, "I think we have everything we need, Miss Sinclair." Nora turned in the hallway and quietly padded down the stairs, but on the inside, the feeling was relief. "Bravo, Nora! God, you're good," she said to herself. The police never suspected a thing. Tune in next week as to find out what happens to Nora and the arrival of the new character, John O'Hare.
Do you want to get all the dolls and chains in your neighborhood? Well, don't be a drugstore cowboy and buy yourself some Old Spice. Become an instant cake eater.
It's Pleasant Peace signing out. Thanks for joining us for our 20s themed broadcast. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.